Hello, everybody. My name is Ultima1125, and welcome back to another part of Unjust Gospel. I really hope that you guys are all enjoying the story so far. I I'm slowly improving. I am working on two new stories, and I'm going to be working with them with my group of friends. So you're going to hear more voices other than mine for everybody else. So for this part, there was a slight technical difficulty with my voice mod. So throughout this whole recording, I am not using it. So it's going to be back to the first eight, no, seven. The first seven parts, I think, of the story where I wasn't using voice mod. So I hope you guys don't mind that. But just know on the next story that I am currently working on, I am now making a script for all my friends to read through. Look forward to it, and I hope, and without further ado, let's go on to part 10 of Unjust Gospel. Stepping into my neighborhood, I look around, feeling my instincts feeling at ease. Seeing my house in front of me, I suddenly see my sister heading out of the house, rushing down the street. Shocked, I stood still, waiting for her reaction, only to see her run past me. Guess I should have expected that, I said to myself. I hid in my house, finding out the door was open. Hearing someone in the kitchen, I look inside, seeing my mom cleaning the dishes. Wanting to call out to her, I stopped myself and headed upstairs to my room. Opening the door to my room, I see all my stuff packed together and moved to a corner. Entering, I laid down in the middle, staring quietly at the ceiling, feeling myself getting lost in whatever I was searching for. Sighing in relaxation, I stood up. I wonder, I said. I head back downstairs, seeing my mom getting ready to head out. Again, holding myself from calling out to her, I checked over to the shelf, finding a photo album. Looking through the photos, I see all my family together, but saw no photos of me in any of them. This is a bit scary to see. I said, closing the album, feeling regret. My phone suddenly starts ringing, giving me a surprise, thinking that my phone was already burnt away from the flames. I looked at my phone to see Robert calling me. Answering the phone, I wondered to myself with a little bit of hope that he still remembered me. Hello? I said. Hello? Robert responds. Hi, I said, unsure if he still remembers me. Oh, hey there, Robert says. Feeling uncertain if Robert was able to keep his memory of me, I held my breath, waiting to hear him say it. Sorry. Could you tell me who you are? Robert asked. Staying quiet, I pondered to myself, wanting to make him remember me, but felt afraid that if I did, something bad would happen. Hello? Robert calls out. Sorry. You must have the wrong number, I finally said, seeing the black flames emerging. Oh, okay, Robert said. Have a good day, I said, hanging up the phone. Before I put my phones away, I looked through the photos that I remember taking with my friends, but saw myself erased from each photos. Feeling my anxiety growing, I focused my flames on my phone, watching it burn. Throwing the phone to the side as it burns, I felt nostalgic seeing most of the houses still in the same when I was a kid walking through. Walking down memory lane, I found myself already at my old school, the same school that I went when I was a kid. Heading towards the playground, I see some of the kids already outside playing. Not wanting to cause any trouble, I tried my best to avoid as many kids as possible, seeing almost all of them not able to see me. Sitting on top of a fence, the other side of the playground, I watched as the kids played together. Wondering to Wondering to myself why I came here, I felt someone tapping my arm. Harm? Wondering to myself why I came here, I felt someone tapping my arm. Looking down, I see a boy standing next to me with curiosity shining in his eyes. Can I help you? What are you doing? He asked, just remembering some fun memories when I was a kid. I replied, feeling unfazed from seeing a child able to see me. What kind of memories? The kid asks, sitting next to me. Seeing the child naturally talking to me, I started wondering. Oops. Seeing the child naturally talking to me, I started wondering if he could see the flames or not. You okay, mister? The kid asks, noticing me lost in thoughts. I'm okay, I replied. I was just wondering if you don't think I look weird or scary. No, no, I don't. No, not at all. I think you look kinda cool. And besides, if you want scary, you should see my mom when she gets angry, the boy said. Listening to the kid, I couldn't help but laugh for a moment before catching myself from falling off the fence. So, anyway, if you don't have anything else to do, want to play with me and my friends? He asked. I'd love to, but sadly, I have other things I have to do, I said, patting the kid's head. Oh, that's too bad, the kid said. Yeah, it is, I said, jumping off the fence. While stretching, I see the child's friend approaching us with energy. Hey, what are you doing over here? One of them asks. Before I could hear the child's answer, I quickly ran out of the area, looking behind me to see him looking around, wondering where I went off to. I sighed and started headed to the next area, which was my high school. Checking the time, I see that it was lunchtime, explaining to me why the kids were out. Understanding more of my position, I continue reminiscing all my memories that I will have and no one else. Once again, lost in my memories, I found myself already at my high school. Seeing some of the students there together outside of the building, knowing that no one would be able to see me, I head inside and straight to the cafeteria to see the place empty. Staffs were around cleaning up, putting all the tables away, while I was amazed to see the school repaired from the damage from the demon. I walked by and headed to a classroom, peeking inside to see Robert working hard to take notes, and when I checked the other classrooms, I find Pedri and Frederick doing the same. Feeling glad that they are doing well right now, I started wondering where Amelia was, unable to find her anywhere. Where did Amelia go? I asked myself. Double checking each room to see if Amelia was in any of them, I started wondering how long was I away. Thinking of only one place, I quickly left school ground, stopping in front of the streets. Unable to recall how to get there, I started wishing I could just teleport there. The moment I thought of it, the flames forms a portal in front of me, showing me the hospital through it. Looking at the flames in confusion, I shake my head and jump through the portal, finding myself in front of the hospital. I'm gonna take note of that in the future, I said, shaking my head in amazement. Looking around, I see a fence built in front of the woods, blocking anybody from entering. I felt in my guts that I was going to find Amelia in the woods again. Rushing over, I find a part of the fence cut open, allowing me to crawl through it, and letting me enter the forest. Following my instincts, I found myself returning to the spot where I made the promise with Amelia. Looking around next to the log, I searched for Amelia, seeing her nowhere nearby. Why would I think she would be here? I asked myself, feeling ridiculous. Before I headed back, I wondered to myself, noticing someone else was missing, who hasn't said anything to me for a long time now. Hey, voice in my head. You there? I'm kinda shocked you haven't said anything this whole time, I called out. I hear nothing coming from my head, making me feel ridiculed for talking to myself. Hey, you in there or something? I mean, you should be there considering you are part of me, I said, trying to make him talk. Still hearing no reply from him, I sat down looking up to the sky. What? You giving me the silent treatment or something? I asked. Still hearing nothing from him, I sighed in disbelief. What happened to him? I pondered as I started hearing someone crying on the other side. Baffled, I rushed around to find Amelia curled up crying by herself. You're kidding, I said, standing in front of her. Kneeling down, I see Amelia's skin, paler than before, shaking by herself with tears falling to the ground. Reaching out, I stopped myself from touching her, suddenly seeing Amelia look straight at me. Watching Amelia looking around, I stepped back, waiting for her to stop. Is anybody there? She calls out. Stopping myself from replying, I stood where I was, watching Amelia as I hear her calling out again. Hello? She says, getting up on her feet. Feeling so many things I wanted to say popped in my head, but I felt unsure what I could do in this situation. But slowly, I felt sure of something that I needed to say, even if Amelia wasn't able to see or hear me. I'm sorry, I said, seeing Amelia unable to hear me. I'm sorry that you won't remember me and the promise. I felt hesitant, thinking if what I was doing is a bit cowardly, seeing Amelia's tears in her eyes. I'm sorry for everything, but I scratched my head, feeling myself blushing. My god, is this gonna sound really cliche? Taking a deep breath, I take a step closer to Amelia, facing her face to face. I'm not going to forget. I'm going to see through to the promise to the end, I said, placing my hand on Amelia. Looking straight into Amelia's eyes, I wiped the tears off her face. Feeling powerless to be able to save her with my power, I felt truly at peace again, along with me wanting to kill myself for this cliche. So, so, what I'm trying to say in this cliche moment right now, I'm sorry for making you feel like that you forced me to make this promise. And sorry that I tried to keep my distance away from you. But right now, I have something that I need to confirm. And when I get that over with, I'll come back to see you, I said, leaving Amelia. As I headed out of the forest, I heard under Amelia's breath call out my name. Without looking back, I reached outside of the forest to find Satan waiting for me. So, you finally done? He asks. More or less, I reply, crawling under the fence. You have anything else you need to visit? Satan asked. No, I just have some things I need to get off my chest, I said, standing in front of Satan. What else do you need to do? I looked down as I imagined my body, hoping my theory was right. As I did, the black flames starts to move around. Opening my eyes, I see my body back to normal and the black flames residing within me. Looking at my hand, I smile up to Satan, seeing him staring at me with confusion. Before he could say anything, I punch him straight in the face, putting my entire body into the swing and watch him fly straight into a parked car. Catching up, I see Satan standing up and wipe off the broken glass off, showing no signs of pain or struggle. You satisfied? He asked. It's a start, but I'll get to the rest later, I said, leaning on the broken car. Well, anything else you need to get off your chest? Satan asked, crossing his arm. Your reason, I said, giving Satan a serious look. Satan looks back at me, slowly understanding what I was asking from him, and walks away from me, keeping an eye on him. I see him stop and turn around to face me, sighing out. You really want to hear it? Satan asked. Honestly, I don't give a damn about it. But since I'm here, I want to hear it, I said. You want to hear why God and I went to many different realities, choosing other people to control the powers, only to have them fail? Satan asked. Well, is there any other reason why you aren't doing this other than your own amusement? I asked. Well, no, but Satan said, looking hesitant to say. Catching along to the atmosphere and my gut feeling, I pinched my nose in frustration. Is it cliche? I asked. Well, it's. Satan looks around. Satan, please tell me why you guys been going around giving people the power resulting in their realities to be removed and recreated, I said. Satan tries to hide his answer by whistling, but quickly understood what he needed to do. When you become a father, you end up wanting to do anything to help your child, Satan says. It's common logic, I said, recalling times when my dad rushed over to me to support me whenever I was feeling down. I only thought that was with you guys, and not with beings like me or my wife, Satan said, looking up to the sky. Hearing Satan remorse, I started to remember something he said before everything started. You said from the beginning that a being wielding both of your guys' power was too much for one to handle, I said. Yeah. Satan nods, placing his hands in his pockets. So what exactly happened that resulted in your guys' decision? I asked. Like I said, when you become a father, you want to protect your child from everything, but at the same time, you want to teach them everything you know. Satan responds, feeling his gaze of not a god, but a parent. What happened? I ask, feeling unsatisfied from this answer so far. My daughter, or Catherine, as you know her, was born with both God's and my power. Satan begins to finally explain. But the moment she was born, she immediately showed signs of her own death. Like literally, not even a day from her birth, she was already dying. And that alone was enough of a shock to make us panic, wondering what to do. How were you sure that she was dying? I ask, understanding from my experience that they shouldn't die so long as they have access to their powers. She was breaking apart, Satan said, looking like he was in pain from remembering the event. Unsure what Satan meant from Catherine breaking apart, I started to ponder in my thoughts, trying to find his meaning behind it, while at the same time trying to determine if he was making up his story. You sure fell silent real quick, Satan said, laughing for a bit. Well, when you're asking someone a question after you know what they've been lying to you, you'd end up trying to figure out if everything they are saying is a lie or not, I replied, trying to find out any clues of his tricks. You really do get paranoid really quick, even if it's just happened to you just once, Satan said. Yeah, I kinda grew up like that. I also grew up trying to avoid as much trouble as possible and grew to catch these things as much as possible. But sadly, I'm not a master of it. Yet, I said, unable to reach an answer. Well, believe me or not is up to you. Isn't that why you didn't go with Shade? Satan says. Yeah, I said, remembering the immense rage and pain he was emitting. Imagining the feeling I felt from Shade, I started to wonder if I was able to trust him, too. My head started to fill with questions, each unable to find the answer unless if I confronted the person for the answer. What do you mean she was breaking apart? I asked, figuring what I needed to focus on first. Yeah, it was the most surprising thing ever for me and God to see, Satan replies. What do you mean she was breaking apart? Because she was born with the next generation of our powers, it was too much for her to control. And like I said, a single being containing both those powers in one result not very well. So then, what made you guys decide to rush to other realities? What gave you that idea to give another person the power? Or at least seal it? I ask. It wouldn't matter if we could take it out or not, because we didn't have anything powerful enough to contain it. Couldn't you guys just make one? We could, but all that would do was just stall it. Without a vessel or a container to hold it, the power would eventually return back to its original host. I see. I said, contemplating if he was telling the truth or not. So then, when did the idea of choosing a random person in a different reality came in? I asked. When we accidentally dropped the power in one of the realities, Satan said, shrugging his shoulder. Unable to comprehend what I just heard, I shook my head while pinching my nose. You're telling me that you guys got the idea by accident? I asked. Yeah, sorry about that, Satan replies, sticking his tongue out a bit. Okay. Out of curiosity, what would have happened if that random individual didn't catch it? I asked. From what we dropped, life would overflow in that reality to the point where the reality would just burst out of existence. Satan says, gesturing the outcome. That's God's capability? I ask. No, that's Catherine's capability, Satan corrects me. Hearing what Satan said, I felt scared for keeping the power within me, unsure if I was able to keep it under control in my presence. Okay, say that you are telling me the truth. What happens now? I ask. Well, first of all, I am telling the truth. And second of all, after many failed attempts, finally finding someone who has the potential to control the power within himself, I would say you would return back with us to the realm between realities to train some more and watch over all realities till whenever you feel like passing the torch, Satan says. All right, I said, feeling the responsibility piling on me. But before all that, we better do something with the resistance, Satan says. I felt that being shocked would have been natural, but I felt more that he knew this whole time and decided to stay quiet about it this whole time. You not gonna ask how I know? Satan asked. It's because you're a god and you're awesome, is my guess. I said. Correct, Satan says, giving me a thumbs up. And from the previous events, I'm guessing when you said to do something, you really mean, Josh, go after them so that you can learn to control your powers better, I ask. Yep, Satan says, giving me another thumbs up and a big smile. Fixing my glasses, I take a breather, trying to take in all the information. You okay? Satan asks. In all honesty, I thought after confronting my past, I would find my answer. But trying to face the present slash future, it's kind of hard to get a grasp on it, I said. Oh, you'll find your answer, Satan says. Hopefully, I said, beginning to leave the parking lot. Where are you going? Satan asks. Going to ask your daughter if you were telling me the truth or not, I said, waving away. You'll find her at the first place you found her, Satan calls out. As I walked, I imagined the park that I first met Catherine, wondering if the flames would do the same thing. Getting a clear picture of the park, I see the flames form in front of me, showing me the park. Walking through, I see myself at the park and the flames returning. I am not going to get used to this at all, I said to myself, looking around. Hey, Josh, I hear Catherine call out behind me. Turning around, I see Catherine looking down to the ground, holding back her tears from all her regrets. I don't need to say why I'm here because I assume you already know why I'm here, I said. Catherine nods her head and looks up to me. My dad told you what happened to me when I was little. Yeah. He said that when you were born, your body was already breaking with both your parents' power within you, I said. Mm-hmm, she says. Feeling her regret growing more, I sighed out, fixing my glasses. What's done is done, okay? Neither you nor your parents can go back in time. Unless if they can, then all of this is a big what the fuck then, I said. Yeah, Catherine says. Seeing her eyes, I was reminded of Amelia, reminiscing the time when I saw her looking at me with the same look. I don't regret helping you, I said, looking away. You don't? She asked. There's no reason, I replied. Even though you. Even when I was forced to take the power, go through all that fighting to avoid experiencing death, and even have everyone I know forgetting my existence, I don't have a reason to regret my choice, I said, feeling a bit embarrassed from what I was saying. I see Catherine crying as she drops to the ground. Kneeling down, I couldn't figure out what I needed to do in this situation and just froze for a while watching her cry. I'm sorry, Josh, Catherine cries. I know. Look, look, I know, I reply. Yeah. I sat next to Catherine as I waited for her to stop crying. Time flew by and Catherine finally finished crying, looking up to the sky as it sets. Did you find your answer? She asked. I don't know, but I do have something I need to do, so that's a start, I said. What's that? She asks. Not answering Catherine's question, I stood up, heading towards the street with a goal in mind. Where are you going? Catherine asks, seeing me walking away. You already know about the resistance built up by different people from other realities, I ask. Yeah, my mom and my dad been watching them this whole time, she replies. I'm gonna go give them a visit, I said. Catherine didn't say anything back to me, but I felt her praying behind me, wishing me best of luck. Passing my house one last time, I stared blankly at it as I see my family through the window, enjoying dinner together. Fixing my glasses, I leave the neighborhood in the night, finding someone waiting for me around the block. Inspecting him, I see him wearing similar clothes to Shade, letting me know he was one of them. Hey, he says, waving. I want to say the code, but I completely forgot it, so considering everything that happened, I said. I don't know what you're talking about, the man says. Just shut up and just take me to Shade, please, he said. I don't know what you're talking about, sir, the man says. Oh my god, I said, stressing. I stood around racking my head, trying to remember the code. Um, it's something with chain, I think, I said. I still don't know what you're talking about, sir, the man says. You know what? F it, I said, imagining Shade, hoping my flames would do the rest. The flames again forms between me and the man, as it shows a blank void on the other side. Dripping through, I started falling. Looking around, I see nothing but the white void with the color stars in the distance, suddenly crashing what had to be the floor or ground. Lifting myself up, I see a familiar cloak and shoes, seeing it to be Shade. Well, I didn't expect to come to me like that, Shade says. Well, I forgot what the code was, so I said, fuck it, I said, standing on my feet. Uh, I see. Shade said, so I'm guessing that you're ready to join us then. Not exactly, I replied, stepping back, trying to ignore the immense rage and pain coming from him. Then, what are you here for? Shade asks. We need to talk. And I am going to end this part here. I hope you guys all enjoyed this part of Unjust Gospel. I'm going to announce, like I said in the beginning, that there are two more And I'm going to end this part here. I hope you guys all enjoyed this part of Unjust Gospel. I am going to announce that there are going to be two more parts that I'm going to upload for the story. If you guys want me to continue the story, or at the least redo the entire story, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and on my channel, I am doing a playthrough of the games. Currently, at this time, I am doing a game called Exist Archive, so head over there and subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button if you guys enjoy my videos, and with that said, I'll see you guys all till I see ya.